Their house. Remember this? You drive to your house. You're like, you're not out. You're in. Like Godfather. And we said yes. We said it's this. They said it was different. They said it's not like Cub Scouts. You got to try it. Give it a whirl. And so we both did. Right? Connor joined. I became a assistant scoutmaster, patrol advisor, merit badge counselor. We sort of went all in on it. And I think it was obviously a great decision. You know, I got to work with each of these scouts throughout their career, whether it was a whitewater rafting trip, a hike, a merit badge counselor event, right? And obviously I worked with Connor a lot as his patrol advisor for the Aztecs. But as a coach, I've been involved with sports my whole life, and I'm used to more of a direct, motivating type of leader. Whereas a coach, you don't have time to guide from behind, but Boy Scouts really was. In sports, I really believe in the saying that doesn't build character, but sports certainly reveals character. Boy Scouts is a really unique, opportunity to build character with young men, right? There's an opportunity to fail and try. And that's way different than sports. And I think that's the opportunity that we, got to go through together. And what did I see from that opportunity with Connor and the Aztecs and with all these guys? I saw a lot of patience being developed. You talk about character, you need patience. Patience in teaching younger scouts how to tie a knot, right? How to pack, like Monty said, how to pack a backpacking trip. Patience with adults when they're trying to email all of these adults that they need to coordinate with to build their Eagle project. A lot of us are already working full-time, and we're not as responsive as maybe the scouts want us to be. So there's patience in both ways. Determination, grit, fortitude, that strength, that character. The 50 miles that you guys ride on your cycling merit badge, right? You have a 50-mile cycling event to do. And I don't know if you remember yours, Connor, but I was the shuttle guy. I had to bring waters and Gatorades. And the normal 50-mile ride is up in Sacramento. It's a beautiful, under the shade, along a river. It's gorgeous. And it makes the 50 miles go reasonably, quick. As quick as it can be riding 6 miles an hour with some of these scouts. But this year was a smoke year. So Sacramento, we couldn't go. So we rode from here to Concord and Concord to Dublin and back. And if you live here, that couldn't be a more boring ride. But we did it in 100-degree weather by all accounts. And so I couldn't even keep up. I was driving trying to meet them at like the Iron Horse Crossing Trail with water. And by the 46th mile, right, we're down at Bollinger Canyon. We got to make it back to Charlotte Wood. I mean, it's peeling these scouts off the sidewalk to get them on their bike for 4 more miles, right? But that fortitude, that grit, you guys did it. It was an incredible, I never seen anything like it. It was incredible. Duty to others and duty to yourself was mentioned already. And I think it's best represented, early on, you guys are planning your meals for backpacking, and you got the scout that wants to make chili with steak in it, some red beans, and then let's have, what else should we have for dessert? Let's make something in the Dutch ovens for desserts. And it's a wildly optimistic plan. And then you have the scout that says, you know what, I'm just happy to be away from home. It's 2 Pop-Tarts and Doritos, right? So you got 2, and you got to compromise, right? And usually you end up with ramen noodles and then Fritos sprinkled on top. It's pretty much right in the middle of those 2. But you're trying to figure out compromise and balance and debate, and you go through that. Trustworthiness. You learn that early on in your Eagle project because you need to trust other people to work with you. You need to trust yourself to put yourself out there so that you can get people to work with you. And you learn pretty quick, you can't direct them, right? You've got to work with them, you've got to motivate them in different ways. And so looking forward, I want to give you just one piece of advice, just something that a mentor told me. With your responsibility that you've earned here today, culminating here today, is make an impact. Okay? Make an impact. Doesn't need to be a positive one, I'm not qualifying that, but get involved. be involved in society, create for society what we've created for you, the space to try something different, to try and fail, right? Give others the opportunity to do what you had the opportunity to do over the past couple of years. Make a difference for us. We need you. Expectations are high, but rely on the fact that your training will prepare you for the pressure. I'm so proud of you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Leary. Hi, everybody. Let me begin by sharing a significant memory that Scouting gave me. In my third year, my friends and I decided to sign up for the annual Point Reyes backpacking trip. The trip consists of a 5.5-mile hike down to a campsite that is located right on the beach. I'm sure most of you all are familiar with the Pacific Ocean's temperature, so none of us swam that trip. However, for the rest of the time, we all played in the sand, dug tunnels, and built sand castles and whatnot. Until we decided we wanted to play a game. The game was called the sandball game. And essentially, you pack wet sand into a ball, and you throw it at your opponent. I'm sure all the moms in the audience right now can tell what's about to go wrong. I'll spare you the details, but let's just say that I learned two things. The first is that, for whatever reason, young scouts, they just can't listen to the rules of the game. And secondly, having sand in your eyes and your mouth is very unpleasant. That night during dinner, I was still like crunching down on sand as I was eating my freeze-dried mac and cheese. You're all probably wondering the same thing. Where were the adults when the scouts were out goofing off and throwing sand in each other's faces? Boy Scouts is a scout-led organization. This means that the adults step back and let the scouts run and manage all the activities. This is why I'm so thankful for scouting, because it really has given me the opportunity to make decisions for myself and make mistakes and improve upon them. I can tell you firsthand of the many mistakes that I have learned from during my Eagle project. My project was to design, construct, and install 4 live edge redwood benches for Greenbrook Elementary School. I split my project up into 3 days. The first 2 were to actually build the bench, and the last day was to install. The first days went relatively smoothly, depends on who you ask, but the last day was the most chaotic. I had rented an auger to make the drilling a lot faster, and it did for the most part, until we ran into an irrigation line. I had anticipated that this would happen, but I did not have a strong plan of what to do in such a case. I'll summarize the rest of the events that day, but we had to dig like 5 extra holes. The vice principal had to come and assess the damage. We had to haul countless amounts of wheelbarrows full of dirt away. But at the end of the day, we had all 4 benches installed. The moral of the day, never go into a project and expect it to go 100% to plan. There's always going to be that one factor that screws everything up, and you kind of just have to follow your gut and make the best decisions. This project really forced me to divide my attention to all aspects of the project. You know, were my volunteers on task? Was my equipment working properly? When was the pizza coming? Things like that. Overall, this project really helped me to grow as a person, giving me life skills, values, and lessons that I can carry with me through the rest of my life. I think now is an appropriate time to recognize the adults in my life who have guided me and supported me throughout my whole scouting journey. First, I would like to thank my mom for helping to raise me to be the caring, creative, and intelligent person that I am today. I know I can always rely on her to guide me with the best advice and help me make tough decisions. Next, I would like to thank my grandfather. From day one, he has been my #1 supporter in any of the hobbies that I pursue. He always guides me with his wisdom and his knowledge, and he never fails to tell a cringy joke. Next, my dad. From the very beginning, way back when in Cub Scouts, he was the one who took me to all the Cub Scout meetings, all the Boy Scout meetings, helped me build my Pinewood Derby cars. He volunteered his time at campouts and troop meetings, and is now an adult leader for Troop 815. No amount of words can express my gratitude for my dad and all his contributions. Finally, I'd like to thank my Eagle advisor, Ronnie Vinfosan. For the past year and a half, he has dedicated his time and effort to helping me conduct this project. He goes above and beyond to ensure that I knew what my next step was and how to get there. I could not have asked for a better mentor. Thank you, Mr. Vinfosan. I often ask myself, why spend so much time striving for Eagle? You know, was it for the status? Was it so I could put it on my college apps or my resume? While all these things are benefits, they aren't the sole reason why I dedicated so much of my time towards this lofty goal. For me, achieving Eagle was a personal accomplishment. It was to really prove to myself that I could focus my effort and my energy towards one goal for a long period of time. My Eagle journey was something that I had control over, how I did things and when I did them. It really showed me what I was capable of when I put my mind to it. For me, Eagle is not just a title. It is a symbol of my dedication towards service and leadership, representing the long, countless hours that I had committed towards becoming a more responsible and mature member of society. Now, to wrap this up, I'd like to direct your attention to my fellow Eagle Scouts, Elliot, Ryan, Ian, Jack, and Ethan. I want to congratulate each one of you, for we have accomplished something that many other kids our age will never do. We have proven that we have the dedication, the leadership, the grit, and responsibility. So, what's next for us? Where will we go from here? Eagle is just one large step in our lives, and I'm fascinated just to find out where it will take us. Thank you.